Hi everyone. Bee in my bonnet. You know I have plenty of these. It's actually what I call a bee in my bonnet is things that I go on to all my instructors about and things that I go on to all my pupils about. I sort of pick on one particular thing and then everyone gets a piece. And that includes my viewers and subscribers. And I have a little thing that I'm going on about at the moment to everyone about this. I'm arriving at this junction and I've stopped and now I'm getting prepared and now I'm going. What was wrong with that? Well, on a driving test, absolutely nothing. However, it's exactly this that I'm going to go on to talk about today with a little drive. And it's simply people go up to junctions or situations and they treat it as two separate entities. They'll arrive at this junction, deal with a stop, then get prepared, look, and then go. And a lot of people do that and still pass a driving test, and for me, it's utterly wrong. What problems does it cause? Well, it causes a reactive nature at the junction or the situation that you're coming up to. And if you're reacting, you may very well make a poor decision with some observation, miss someone and have a collision. So it's no good. But what I've been saying to my students and instructors, and now you good people, is try and deal with things in one particular way. I'm going to try and explain. I'm already through this junction, so I'm not going to start here. But what I'm going to do is I will take a little turn at the second set of lights. Here, I'm preparing for what? I'm preparing for the lights changing. So I'm reducing until I get to that point. So I'm thinking about what I've got to do at that particular junction or situation prior to arrival. So I'm ready for the lights changing and I'm going to do my preparation to go now, which is slowing, running pace, second gear and round the corner and go. And I had to keep an eye on that one there. So it's not two separate parts, it's one. And I know that might seem a little strange to some people who do this instinctively, but I promise you, this is a big issue with a lot of people on the road. I'm taking this road on the right. One part is I've got to keep an eye on the cyclist and I've got to make sure no one's coming out before I commit. We're good. That's all fine. At the end of the road, I'm keeping an eye on the cyclist for that reason. At the end of the road, I've already made an assessment on what I've got to do prior to arrival. So to be able to prepare to keep moving, I'm going to have to go super slow into first, lean and creep. Yes, I know this junction. However, if you don't know it, let's look at a few of the signs and clues that you should be picking up for or picking up on. Cyclist is my main worry at the minute. I'm at a speed where I could deal with it if anyone seemed to just pull out. But this junction up at the end, I cannot see past this fence and it's uphill and a sharp left bend. So I'm going to hold back and let the kid cross. You're quite all right, sir. You're not doing it? No? You waiting? This is the confusion with Loveday Ryder and her decision about these pedestrian priority rules. That just proves it. It just causes more confusion with how it's got out. Sorry, I'm not going to go into that rant. I didn't get a chance to give people an idea of what I was doing at that particular junction, but we couldn't see to the right and it was uphill with a sharp bend. So we know prior to getting there what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to go into first gear, or even if you're in an automatic, be down to a walking speed, and then you're going to need that walking speed to then be able to cope with what we had at the junction. Just going back to the young kid, those rules are not a problem for me and for drivers who understand them, but there has to be much more knowledge on a wider scale for them to work. At the moment, they are causing confusion and danger. Because I know the rules, and I should give way to the pedestrian, the young child who wished to cross the road, but he doesn't understand this, he may have felt compelled to run across that road, and then someone coming in from the opposite direction who doesn't know about the rules takes him out. Loveday Ryder, the chief exec of the DVSA, you need to have a good, hard, serious think about how you've implemented these changes. They're a disgrace, honestly. Well, like I've said, the rules aren't a disgrace, but how they've been got out to people are a disgrace. No more rant with that. Now, go back to what I've been talking about what have I got to do to be able to keep going. People do exactly the same in these scenarios where they're coming up to the back of vehicles. They arrive up at the back of the vehicles, then the vehicles move off. They're then panicking and rushing into a gear and then carrying on. It also doesn't help when people have been taught to gear down coming in towards stops. I'm going to gear down, so therefore, didn't do it then. I'm back up to fourth. I'm just going to try and show you the next scenario. But yeah, people will gear down, so they're always ready in the correct gear for when the vehicles move off. But what planning has that actually made you do up the road? And that's the main reason why nowadays the advice is this one going through? No. That's why the advice, mainly the people coming in towards a slow, is just to slow down, use the brakes to slow down, and then pick the gear to carry on, because it emphasizes this need to plan about how you're going to have to move forward. Hope you're following. Little bit of a ranty one. Sorry. It's just those rules for the DVSA. Not going to mention them again. Maybe. Okay, so when do we need to prepare to go? And that can even help you at traffic lights. It can help you understand when to put your handbrake on and put it into neutral. And it can also help you understand when you need to then pre-prepare the gear. Notice I was positive with this one behind, who did not want to follow the learner vehicle. See it all the time, and even when I'm talking, I'm still aware of that and managing that situation. Are you that aware? Can you be that aware? Okay, preparation here. What could happen is an easy one. Lights could change. Great. What preparation do I need to do to keep moving? And the answer is nothing. If you think in these terms, it simplifies things and allows you to concentrate. Oh, lack of cars coming through. Should I prepare? Yes, because that's going to happen. See where I'm coming from? So it cuts out the fluff, as I call it. People are overloaded with the process of driving nowadays, with the busyness, with the complications of the cars, with the more complicated road layouts and junctions. They are overwhelmed. They are honestly overwhelmed. So to cut out the fluff and get people planning of what's it actually going to be like, and cut down on the actual physical interaction with your car when you don't need it, is an important part. So look at the next set of lights. If we treat this as one, I'm just holding back and keeping back of this white BMW in case they want to come in. They shouldn't do, but what preparation do I need to go? Nothing at the minute, but there is a gap in the traffic. So what prep to go? Second gear. We're still at running pace. Superb. What about the preparation to go at the next set of lights? I'm slowing down and I'm doing my utmost to keep things moving. You've seen me do this before, but we're just applying it to this slightly different mindset. So it's interesting that if you think about the preparation to go, it actually gives you a little bit more restraint, I think. Okay, is the rowdy going to come in? Probably. How far are they going to push up the queue? Are they trying to get even further, or are they just doing a right turn at the roundabout? Who knows? We will see. Watch your bet, though. My bet that they're trying to squeeze every last little space. Dead easy to spot. Superb. Be like that all the time. Thank you for the driver of that Audi for just fitting that stereotype. Makes my job so simple, and it actually makes everyone else's job simple. Notice I haven't prepared to go. Oh, brilliant. So, gave you a little example of what people are like. And then it's a scramble. They make a last-ditched observation with that vehicle to the right, and then suddenly they've chosen to pull out at the wrong time. It increases risk massively, but if you have this thought process of thinking about what am I going to need to do to continue, it helps you go the other way and slow down a bit. So crossing, it's not been pressed, not been activated. You can always look at the boxes on the right hand side. Just going to give my windscreen a little bit more of a wash. That one, sound. So the preparation to go here is really being ready for the lights to change, and I'm turning left. I'm thinking of the silver car and where it's going to be. So my preparation to go is to slow it down and just fit in after the silver one. I did not arrive at that giveaway and then start thinking about it like some people do. What does this do for flow? It increases it, which is another one of those words that I should have maybe tattooed on me, or at least on the gravestone, about best flow. So it helps with that. Could bore you to death with the benefits. More fuel efficient, more car sympathetic, safer, less chance of people getting hit from behind and through. The Volvo is now the thing that could be affecting my ability to keep going. It's not going to get them far either, all right? I'll be really surprised if we're not next to them, and we are, at this next set of lights. So what preparation am I going to do to keep going? Well, I'm taking my time. I'm looking at the traffic either side, sliding it into first, creeping. This guy's a potential problem. If he walks, if the lights change, we will finish. And now when the lights change, I'm able just to continue. There was a little bit of a smugness from me there. You know why. Just to really show people how it's done. So the overtake, not an issue, you can overtake me whenever you wish. But it doesn't actually get you very far. Now he's probably triggered, but I'm doing the safe thing by slowing down more, into first, doing my preparation to go, and I'm moving. Next set of lights when I get there are going to be on red. Is this guy going to be triggered? He wasn't prepared there. Did you notice that guy behind as well? He's one of those people who will get there and then think about the situation. A reactor as opposed to a planner. Is there something similar we can do here? How much traffic's coming out? I'm doing my utmost to be prepared and ready to go. Don't need to do anything at the minute because there's cars coming out. Now there's a gap. Away we go. No issues. Now, most of my viewers and subscribers will have this same sort of mindset about planning, but this is just a new way that I've found of explaining it. And what am I going to have to do to prepare to go? I need to get her finished as early as I can and out the way and clear so I can then continue, and that enables a higher speed actually going through. But yeah, it's exactly the same. My way of driving hasn't changed in 15, 20 years. I did improve within the first 10 years or so of being a driving instructor. There's added little bits that I've tweaked, but generally I've been doing this. Honestly, I remember doing this even prior to being a driving instructor. I remember on the way to training one morning with, I used to drive in with Dominic Matteo, and I was driving in with Dom, and I was doing my utmost to make sure I arrived at every single set of lights on green. And it did it all the way from mine in Formby all the way to West Derby by Melwood, the training grounds. So here, I am doing my utmost to try and plan to go. There's a gap before the Toyota. Yep, I'm all right with that. No issues. So do you notice I'm looking at these spaces from a long way off, and I'm able to adapt and change and tweak what I did. What I did there was I actually slowed down and allowed myself more time to then be prepared in the correct gear, and I was just able to carry on. It was a borderline gap. Did I cause the Toyota any issues? No. Sometimes though, people like that, they're going to be the ones who are going to go, "They pulled out in front of me," and then start closing space down. So be careful of doing it that late. It was perfectly safe and perfectly fine. The speed assessment between my car and the Toyota, we were traveling at a similar speed, so as long as they didn't suddenly change, me going out there was okay. No problems. Okay, anything stopping me making progress? No. No one overtaking's an issue, so off we go. Sound. Roundabout, we're going to go ahead to Maghull, second exit. So what preparation do I need to continue? I do not want to arrive at this giveaway line and then start thinking. I can see it's open to the right, traffic's light, it's not a sharp steer, I'm using third, but now I'm going to slow down and do some preparation to go after the Jag. Second, and away we go. So that's not an issue. I know I had 2 gear changes there coming in, but I'd done the preparation for what I was seeing, and that changed. Of course you can change your mind. That U-turn culture, or going against U-turns, we see it in government and politics. We're not going there, but we see this in just daily life. Oh, they've done a U-turn on what they thought. What? They changed their mind for the better? So there's no issue with me getting third gear there, and then because it changed, me changing my mind. But we just don't want to be gearing down or doing no thought on the approach to it, so we arrive there and then we're reactive. So it's not 2 separate sections, it's one whole section. So to do this roundabout, I'm assessing the steering input, which is negligible. First exit I'm taking, Tesla's gone, no one else, I'm going. And I was even able to clear the roundabout before the blue one got anywhere near, therefore I actually helped the flow of the blue car there as well. Okay, crossing. The jogger's not going to be anywhere near it. Not by the time I get there anyway. Anything going on here? No. Got a Jag catching me a little bit from behind. I am doing smack bang 30. Brake lights. This micro could go in front of me. Not an issue. Again, I'm doing my utmost to prepare to go, and that includes thinking about what other people could do to interrupt my flow. The white one up the top signalling to turn left, not an issue. Pedestrian on the left's fine. Parked car on the right's slightly on the road, so just to do my preparation to go, they were a little bit of an issue when I could see them starting to have a pretend scrap. Oh, the younger age flirting. Oh, I remember the days. Funny. It does. It just sends you back 35 years when you're my age. In any case, I hope you got what I was talking about the parked car. I'm doing the same here. I'm doing my preparation to be able to go. So because the space is smaller and I was happy to share, I slowed, geared down, I did all my checks prior to that, and then I was able to go through. I'm watching this one in case it comes out. might not give way. The car on the other side is the issue. Happy now. It's one of those new 1 Series BMWs. They've made them slightly less ugly. Well done. Sorry, I don't like the new 1 Series. Don't like the 1 Series since my one, if I was honest. Okay, have you got any questions whatsoever about this mindset and technique? And you notice most of the things I talk about nowadays are just psychological things. They're not a whole brand new way and I've discovered a new way of driving. No, it's not the case. What am I going to do to prepare to keep going? Second, continue. What do I need to do to prepare to keep going at the next set of lights? Precisely nothing, so I'm just slowing and managing this behind. Sometimes it's a case of I'd rather get here and stop and secure rather than doing the super slow coming in. Depends on the situation. So yeah, nothing magically new apart from how this is approached and how you're thinking about this particular subject. We've had the foot cam on as well all the way through. I haven't knocked it off yet and it is still recording, so that's a result. So hopefully that's been a little bit of a help so you can understand how I'm acting with my feet. I'm still going to keep going over the next little bit. I've got a couple of extras that I would like to just have a look at before we sign off, so please stay with us. Thank you so much, as always, for all your support. If you haven't subscribed yet, and the numbers are the same with most YouTube channels, that there's a large percentage of people who watch the channel who aren't subscribed. And if you are subscribed and you press that like button, it helps me get this message out to more. So please, please do, if you don't do already, and do press that subscribe button. So next scenario, what am I going to have to do to prepare to go here? I'm also potentially looking at people coming out from the Gulf Square, but I've taken my time and I'm slowing, and this again allows me to keep this safe. I'm preparing to go and I'm able to keep up with the flow with people. Now I'm on to the next scenario. I'm thinking about the next set of traffic lights. What am I doing to prepare to go? And I am going to turn left. It's sort of like in between arriving and wanting to stop and keep them moving. This one could go quite soon after I stop here. Maybe not. There's a little bit of traffic coming through, so it was how I sorted, or how I said about, so I was still ready. I was still easily plannable to it, or easily preparable. Okay, situation's here. It is a Saturday morning. People are going to be out doing the shopping. Don't think I'm going to need my sunglasses by the looks of the weather. Anyway, always on my head, ready and prepared. That red one's the issue. They took the lead off that. So even there, that driver of that red vehicle wasn't doing their utmost to be prepared to go. They saw the vehicle from the opposite direction, slightly slow, and just slightly reacted. And it's when you react in an extreme manner and you actually go for it without looking properly is when the collision or the accident happens. Hopefully you can see how it goes. And this, honestly, what we mentioned just before about there's no brand new method or brand new way of driving that I have discovered. It's not like that. It's just the longer I've gone with doing this as a career, the more I've got into the psychological side of things, and that's the most important thing. I should have known that anyway. Even, preparing, ready to stop, could stop through. So being prepared to go gets you the other way around, don't forget. Same thing, what can I do to prepare? Slow early, pick a gear, because the learner could move away slowly, so I just chose first and slowed a bit more to give myself more time to keep moving. Yeah, going back to what I was saying, I hope I'm not talking gibberish. A bit early in the morning, if I was honest, but is what it is. It's never scripted, you know me by now. But yeah, going back to what I was saying about I should know this, about the mindset, even takes me back to my early days football career. There were players who signed as YTS players and young lads at Liverpool who were far better than me. technically, but it was my attitude at a particular point that pushed me up and beyond. But it was also my attitude after I smashed my knee and then my head fell off that made me really fall down the other way. So attitude is everything. Would I do different things now? Yeah, of course I would, but can't change it. Just think about going forward. What prep am I going to have to do to head off to the right with this? It looks clear, there's not that much steering. Second gear was fine, no issue, but I sort of knew what I was going to do well before it, but I'm then not having to make my mind up on what I've got to do at the crucial point that if someone changes and appears, I can't deal with it. It's all about mindset. Okay, that's just about it. I think I've got that message across of what I wanted. What am I doing to prepare to go? I was just making certain, I can't verbalise as much as I think and as much as I see and take in, and that's always going to be the case. But what I was thinking there was that vehicle target fixating at the pedestrians and we're going to hold back and let them go. Therefore, I was slowing down a little bit more and I gave myself an option to keep going a little bit better. That's it. This junction's a little funny one. Used to be 2 lanes round to the right, but they've not marked it like that. So I'm going to take the safe option and go into lane 2 and then re-sort it out when I get around the corner. So this will be the last one, and we're heading up to Switch Island. But thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope that makes a little difference. If you are a driving instructor, please try and empower your students to think in that particular manner. Not arrive there, stop, then go again. Think about it in one section. What have you got to do to prepare to go? And it forces me to watch the traffic here side to side. I don't need any preparation until now. Notice I'm always that little split second or so, generally, prior to me needing to go. So I'm always ahead of the game. So that's it, everyone. I hope you all have a cracking Christmas. Enjoy your family, enjoy the good times. Remember, it's not about what you get, it's about memories. I'll see you soon. Take care. And there's people rushing to stop again. Whereas I generally don't stop. 3, 2, 1, go. Of course, it's down to my psychic abilities though, isn't it?